A brawl has emerged in Italy to instate the Glass-Steagall Act, a required step to break the chains of the presently failed world monetary system and opening the doors for a new international paradigm. Former Italian Economic Minister Giulio Tremonti published an op-ed in the Italian newspaper of record, Corriere della Sera, calling out the failures of the present government of Prime Minister Mario Monti and demanding the imposition of the separation of investment banking from commercial banking. Released on April 12, Tremonti leveled the Monti government for not only failing to resolve the crisis for the people of Italy, but that the government is such a failure they cannot even save the market forces that they serve. He stated, "For a technical government such as ours, there is among other things the specific risk of a technical decline, the risk that confidence given to this particular government demanded by the market, created for the market, at last obtained by the market. Such a confidence is eventually withdrawn not by voters, but by market itself, thus debasing the fundamental raison d'etre." With that, he goes on to blast the European Central Bank's financial injections, which he called a therapy that follows the belief that one can cure an alcoholic with alcohol. With the fraud exposed, he then delivered the message that made the present international financial empire cringe, calling for the identity of Glass-Steagall to be enacted in the nation of Italy. In his own words, putting an end to the overpower of finance, separating productive banks which collect private savings to finance business, families, communities, from speculative banks which are active in the financial casino. The latter, if they want, must risk their own money and not as they have done so far with public money, that is, our money. And last, banning the folly of speculative derivative contracts. Tremonti's Corriere della Sera exposure is by no means a lonely call in the woods. This comes in the context of Italian Senator Oscar Pertellini having introduced a Glass-Steagall measure into the Italian parliament last month, and the eruption just last week of Lega Nord, the largest opposition party, announcing to bring the campaign for a Glass-Steagall reform to the popular level, seeking to mobilize 50,000 Italian citizens to sign on, obligating by law for the parliament to consider the proposal. A measure that defies the imperial financial system. It was suspect that within days of the Lega Nord's announcement, a joint team of Carabinieri and financial police raided the national office of Lega Nord in Milan and the houses of Lega politicians. Though the investigation that led to these searches began months ago with the accusation of Lega treasurer Belsito conducting financial irregularities, media reports indicate that the police was led by Naples prosecutor, an Italian by the name of Henry John Woodcock. Smelling more like a fishing operation than a legitimate investigation, a European communiqué questioned the nature and timing of the raids, stating, whereas Lega treasurer Belsito is accused of funds mismanagement and illegal party financings, the timing of the operation is highly suspect. It comes at a time when the Lega, the only parliamentary opposition to the Monti regime, has launched a popular campaign for a Glass-Steagall legislation in Italy. Belsito is reportedly very close to Lega Secretary General Umberto Bossi, who has publicly defended him from allegations. Is the empire moving in the defensive, with Glass-Steagall moving to place their debt-burdened necks on the chopping block? What we know, backtracking to Giulio Tremonti's recent calls in Corriere della Sera, is that within hours of the release of his op-ed, gossip surfaced, injecting the line that Tremonti had advised Lega Nord head Umberto Bossi during the summer of 2011 to invest Lega money out of the euro area because of the impending collapse. Gossip, dropping him in the pool of which prosecutors are investigating the so-called Lega Nord embezzlement scandal. The allegation made against Tremonti, which one should note is not a crime in and of itself, is said to be evidence within a wiretapped conversation between former Lega Nord treasurer Belsito and a third person. According to the gossip, this led Belsito to invest money in Tanzania and Cyprus. Taking the gloves off, Tremonti challenged the allegation via the daily publication La Repubblica. Though many details remain unknown regarding the machine behind the attacks on Tremonti and the Lega Nord, what we do know is that no time was wasted to begin the unraveling of putting an end to the opposition party and the former economic minister as they announced a renewed drive for the imposition of Glass-Steagall. Were Glass-Steagall to be put in place, the power of the present system of international finance would be broken by any nation that accepts it. The gates for a new global paradigm would be open for civilization to take. What choice, then, do the international rulers of finance have but to live in fear of the growing tsunami targeted to terminate with an alternative, their system, their free market system, that had always been destined to fail?